Hello guys, today I will show you how to synthesize a string machine patch with my Moog One. I use a 16 voice Moog One, and in this patch I'm not using the unison mode, and this patch is only one layer. So let's start to see what is in this patch, what is going on. We will analyze the first oscillator that it's going on both filters, so the state variable and the ladder filter, and its volume is 68%. Let's go on in the oscillator section, and you will see that I'm using a square wave with 33% of width, and I'm also modulating this pulse width with the LFO3 that is hardwired, but just a little bit. It's 13 and something. And this first oscillator, it's on 8 feet. So we will see the third LFO that is modulating. It's a triangular wave, and this is the third LFO that is modulating the square wave, and so now we'll hear how it sounds. You can easily hear the modulation going on this oscillator. So let's go on the second oscillator. It is also going into both filters, but in this case I used a sawtooth wave with an attack of 75 microseconds, and I'm using the tune at 4 feet. But in this case I added a little modulation on the pitch of the oscillator too. As you can see here, the LFO1 is modulating the oscillator 2, and here is the LFO1 with the sine wave. I want to remember you that you can obtain this waveform moving the variation knob. So we start from a triangular wave, and we go, when we are in 100%, we go to a sine wave, and the speed is 4.6 Hertz. So let's hear the second oscillator. You can easily hear the modulation on pitch. And now let's go to the third oscillator. That is the only one that is set on 100% of volume. If we go on the oscillator page, we will see that is also a sawtooth wave, but in this case I have 16 feet, and it's a little bit less sharper than the previous one. The attack is set on 173 microseconds. So let's hear this oscillator. Now let's open all the oscillator and go to the filter section. In filter section, as you can see, I am using the state variable filter in high pass mode, but I added a little bit of spacing and a good amount of resonance, so you can see the two peaks of this filter. And on the ladder filter, I'm using a low pass filter with 50% of resonance, but I'm using this filter in two pole mode, so 12 decibel per octave. These filters are working in parallel and the mix knob is set on 50%. Let's hear how it sounds together. I also want to tell you that there is no filter envelope modulation, and on the amplifier section I used an attack that is 249 and a release that is 1.9 second with full sustain. But I wanted to tell you, coming back to the filter, that I have a modulation on the state variable filter that is applied by the LFO tool in conjunction with the modulation wheel. So it will be only when I will go up with my modulation wheel. And if we can see the LFO2, it's again a sine wave, very slow, 0.05 Hz, and it's working in unipolar mode. This is because I want that the LFO will modulate the filter only going up, and it will come back at the starting point that is set my cutoff by my cutoff point on the filter. So we will hear again. Of course, you can control the modulation applied by the LFO2 with the wheel. And as you can hear, there is a sort of phasing effect, but without any phaser effect. Let's come back to the modulation matrix. I added just a little bit of modulation again for the oscillator to pitch, but in this case it will go up only when I will go up with my modulation wheel. And I set the X-pad to go between the state variable and the ladder filter. So if I will be on the left side, you will hear only the state variable filter. If I will go on the right side, you will hear the ladder filter. Let's check. added, it's also with the modulation wheel. When I go up with the modulation wheel, we will have an amount of the oscillator 2, of the volume of the oscillator 2. So let's go to the effect section. I add a reverb. It's an eventide all, pretty basic setting. I just changed the pre-delay and I just changed the sides, and I gave a longer decay, 7 and 8.8 seconds, and I put the gain a little bit down because it was very high. It was, I don't remember the default setting, it was 100%, if I remember good. And we will go on the insert effect, that is a stereo chorus. On this effect I used the control 1 to modify the mix, so the mix between the dry signal and the wet signal, and the control 2 is changing the tone of this chorus effect. So if we go at 50%, I will switch between the chorus and without and with chorus effect. And now I will go 100% wet, and I will change the tone so you can hear how it will change the sound. So I heard a lot of people being very critic on the Moog One effect section. In real, I heard a lot of people being critic on this synthesizer. But this is my opinion, my personal opinion, that this is an instrument that deserves to be studied, to be experimented, and to go deep on this synthesizer and also on this effect, because to me they are not bad at all. They work great, and you need a little bit to tweak these parameters to get. And it's also like this instrument, it's not a simple instrument, even if it has a fabulous user interface, but you need to go deep with this synthesizer to obtain good sounds. So at last, I hope that you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe to my channel so you can support my work. Give me a like if you want, comment, ask me what you want in the comment section. Hopefully we will see on the next video. I wish you a good day and thank you for watching.